We're here at the Los Angeles Latino International Film Festival closing gala for the screening of Women in Trouble. Let's see if women really do get in trouble.
It's a huge ensemble. It's a fabulous film, though. Sebastian really created 8 fabulous women characters that get intertwined into a crazy, crazy story, and we just had so much fun making it, and a lot of fun.
Tell me a little bit about your character in the movie.
My character is a psychiatrist who is basically treating a little girl at the time that she finds out that the mother of the little girl is sleeping with my husband. And that's the beginning of the adventure. And her mom is actually my client, and she's played by Caitlin. Where'd Caitlin go? She was right here behind me. But yeah, it's played by Caitlin, so it's very fun, and a lot ensues. That's just the beginning of the story. So
I play Addie, and I am raising a daughter, and I'm single, and I'm having an affair with my therapist's husband. So I'm a little bit of a lost soul, and I've taken care of my sister's child, and through that I sort of like, I get caught and I get discovered and I kind of like come clean, and it was an amazing movie to film because of it was a cast of women, so, and a lot of them were my friends. So it was great to be there with all these women who I was friends with, and we were all kind of in these roles where we went through a real character arc of like empowerment. So that was great.
And in what ways do you relate to your character in the movie?
Ooh, not at all. Not my cup of tea. There is. I was a young mom. I have a grown son, so I can relate to being a single parent and, having to juggle being a woman and being a mother and having to have a career at the same time and not necessarily knowing, which direction to take at certain times.
These people are my family, so it really doesn't get better. You hope that when you get a job that it turns out that it feels like family and that you connect with people and that it feels great. I mean, to start with, these people are my family, but it was amazing. Everybody, there's nothing better than having people pitch together for no reason but the right reasons. There were no paychecks, there were no perks, people were doing this because they believed in it and because they loved it.
Tell me a little bit about your character.
She's a bartender. She's a very sassy, very sexy, very female-driven bartender, and everybody circulates through her bar occasionally through the story.
And I love your shirt.
Thank you. Mark Jacobs is giving 100% of the proceeds to raising money for skin cancer, for melanoma research.
So when's the last time you got in trouble? I mean, this movie's called Women in Trouble.
I got in horrible trouble with my daughter this morning.
My character is Charlotte, and she is, a teenager, and so she's very hormonal and adolescent and, going through all the same shit that we all do. So that definitely shines through, but at the same time, she's the most level-headed of all of the characters, I feel like. I mean, the movie is about 10 women sort of going crazy in their own skin, and I feel like Charlotte is the most reasonable and sort of gets everybody through the day at the end. So,
and when did you know that you wanted to be an actress? How did you get your start?
Well, my dad always showed us movies when we were kids. We grew up with this sort of knowledge and history of filmmaking, and so it was kind of natural for me to either choose filmmaking or acting, and I feel like I really love to express myself in a bunch of different ways, and acting seemed like a natural thing to me. So
there were so many great things. One is to see Isabella shine so tremendously. It's so great having started acting just a couple years younger than she is now. I really have such an affinity for that time in one's life. So that was really cool. Connie Britton is one of my very best friends in the world. We got to shoot a bunch of great scenes together. Rhea Kihlstedt, who I think you spoke to. I mean, really, like, the movie is a family of friends, and so in that way, that was very special. But I also think that just getting together with friends to make something is fun, but if the movie's not good, then none of that really matters. And in this particular case, it was a movie that we're really proud of, and that the script was really strong, and our director, Sebastian Gutierrez, knew exactly what he wanted. And so all of us got to get in there and play, but play at something that we were incredibly passionate about. So there are people like Adrian Perlicki and Connie Britton and Emmanuel Shrieky who aren't here tonight, who are dying to be here just because they want to be here to celebrate the movie with their fellow actors who we all love each other. So
what inspired me to write this movie was I have a lot of friends who are actresses that I felt were being underused in movies where they usually get to play the girl. And in so many American movies, women are stuck doing that. They either play the nice girl or the bad girl. There's no in between. I thought, well, I don't know any women like that. All the women that I know are actually smart and sexy and confused and complicated and confident, and they're total contradictions in the best way. And so I thought, well, why not make a movie that has a bunch of archetypes of these women and explore something that I find really interesting about women that's different than men, which is the way in which women bond with each other. So in the movie, for example, you can have a porn star and a businesswoman who have nothing to do with each other, but they get stuck in an elevator, and within 10 minutes they're telling each other the story of their lives, and they become lifelong friends. Guys don't bond like that. It takes longer for men to do that. And I've always found that from a narrative standpoint, that's really interesting. This is a comedy, so I don't want to make it sound too heavy, but the movie has humorous parts and has serious parts, and I think it's precisely because women have their emotions so accessible, that you're able to do that. So somewhere in there, I think, is the answer to the...
Did you incorporate any real-life issues that you dealt with in the movie?
Of course, always, but I can't tell you which ones. Yes, I'm always listening. I'm always listening to women talking at lunch, to see what it is that they're talking about. And it's not usually about men, which is what's interesting. Men think that's what they're talking about, but not really,
I'm Abby Scott reporting for Maximo TV. We'll see you next time.